And Joy was on death row because of the crime she had committed. Come and see, oh, come and see, oh, come and see. Come and see, oh, come and see, oh, come and see. Come and see what the Lord has done. Come and see what the Lord has done. Come and see, oh, come and see what the Lord has done. Come and see what the Lord has done. Hi guys, it's a girl Lala Matams, also known as Gilawapa Z, girl from Zambia. If you're new to my YouTube channel, please subscribe so that each time I upload videos, you will be notified that Gilawapa Z posts a video. Thank you so much for more than 71,000 subscribers. I am so grateful that you guys keep on coming to my YouTube channel. Na totala sana. In this video, I will be celebrating, at the same time also be a bit emotional because of the storyline. As you have seen, I am talking about a lady named Joy Ojo, who is Nigerian based. And I've been following Joy Ojo's story since 2 years ago. So 2 years ago, before I became a YouTuber, I came across a story. I came across a lady that was singing so beautifully. And I was asking myself questions. Why was she where she was? And this video particularly, it was a talent search for people who are based in a particular place, and that's the prison. Now, I was very heartbroken. I was asking myself questions. How did this beautiful woman find herself in the prisons? And she really sounded so innocent and naive at the same time. Like, you'd be wondering, did she get in prison by, neglect, or did somebody just frame her? I was asking myself those questions. And thank God I've subscribed to this particular YouTube channel where they talk about prisoners in Nigeria. And before I go any further, watch this video of this amazing woman singing, and then I will tell you a little bit of her history and the victory at the end of it all. Watch this.
Jesus, don't leave me. Don't leave me. Jehovah, don't leave me. When my enemy surrender me, Jesus, don't leave me. When my enemy surrender me, Daddy, don't leave me. Oh. Don't leave me, Jehovah, don't leave me.
the video. That's Joy Ojo. I met her on YouTube through the YouTube channel Prison Evangelist Channel. And I was wondering, what went wrong? How did she find herself there? And that song, by the way, is her song, and it's copyright protected because she sang it for the first time in prison. And then 2 years later, I come across Joy again, singing and hoping for the best in life. And I watched another episode where she was evangelizing. Let me just show you a snippet of this episode in particular. Watch this.
Let your grace fall upon me, Jesus. Let your grace fall upon me, Jehovah. Let your grace fall upon me, Jesus. Let your grace fall upon me, Jehovah. Let your grace fall upon in my family. Let your grace fall upon in Nigerian nation. Let your grace fall upon all over the world. I mean, let your grace fall upon us, Nana, oh Jehovah. Let your grace fall upon me, Jesus. Let your grace fall upon me, Daddy, Jehovah. Let your grace fall upon me, Daddy, Jesus. Let your grace fall upon me all the days of my life. Hey, without your grace, Daddy, I cannot do anything. No. Without your grace, I cannot fulfill my destiny, oh Daddy, babe. Without your grace, I cannot make your kingdom, Daddy. Let your grace fall upon me, na, oh Jehovah. Let your grace fall upon in my family. Let your grace fall upon in Nigerian nation. Let your grace fall upon all over the world, Daddy. Let your grace fall upon us, na, oh Jehovah. Amen.
Okay, so that's Joy Ojo singing in prison, calling upon God, rescue me from this situation. And I was wondering, what crime did Joy commit? What type of offense did she commit for her to reach to the stage of death row? Together with the others that took part in the contest that I watched before on the YouTube channel itself, Joy was also on death row, awaiting execution. And our only hope was writing songs. And Joy has written 42 songs whilst in prison. Now, 2 years later, Joy receives good news through the Abundance Grace Foundation. Through the Abundance Grace Foundation that took up the case since over 2 years ago. Joy has been in prison for 4 solid years for this crime. Now, I will tell you the crime she committed. So, courtesy of Abundance Grace Joy Foundation, they have granted me permission to share this story and also to talk about Joy on my YouTube channel, because tomorrow I will be interviewing them on my YouTube channel as well, so that they can tell you how they're trying to help Joy. So Joy has 2 children with a man who never married her, and she would stay with her family, obviously, with the 2 children. and her dad was quite abusive to her. He would whip her and she would run away. And you can see she's not a young girl, but the dad would obviously beat her up. So on one of the days, her dad tried to whip her and he slipped off. He was taken to hospital. He recovered, and then a week or so later, he died because he had other conditions, diabetes and all. But you see, the family has a very influential barrister who made sure Joy paid with her life. And that is how Joy was convicted for murder. I was shocked when I heard this. When I was being told the story, I was shocked because I even thought that maybe it was a case of, abusive relationship and the woman stabs the husband or does something to the husband or the boyfriend. But when I heard it was actually her father who slipped off, and then a week later he died after recovering, and then they blame it on Joy, I was shocked at the unfair system in Africa, particularly Nigeria. I couldn't believe this. Why should Joy be arrested? And not just being arrested, but being sentenced to death. And this young woman has spent 4 years of her life in prison for a crime she didn't commit. And I keep on asking myself, how many more Joys do we have out there that are being incarcerated for crimes they did not even commit, or for being even in the wrong place at the wrong time? Many, especially in Africa. And therefore, I was so glad to hear that this organization was fighting through Joy's case to make sure that she would be vindicated. There is power in prayer. There is power in serving God. Joy might have gone to prison for something she did not do, but that was a time as well for her building of a relationship between her and God. Well, I have good news for you. Joy has been released from the prison. I was so happy. I couldn't believe this. My eyes were wet with this news. In order to prove that this is true, watch this.
Thank you, sir. God will bless you. God will bless you. You are taking care of my children. God will bless you, sir. God will bless you. Oh, my brother. Thank you, ma. Oh, my brother. Oh, thank you. God will bless you. This is my younger one. You never let me suffer. Even when you don't have food, I'll say, please, now. I'm seeing you here because of condition. I say, brother, I not get food. Before you know, you go run, bring this for me. Thank you. God will bless you. I love you. Thank you. You are my brother. Thank you. I mean, I'm not going to die here today again. I'm not going there again. Jesus.
We are going to find a house for you. That's okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
This is a joyful day. It's a joyful day.
Amen.
You will never see prison yard again.
Amen.
I said you will never see prison yard again.
Amen.
Your life will from today go from glory to glory.
Amen.
This point you are in is the least you will ever be in your life.
Amen.
You will never be the joy they know in Obiaja, but you will be a joy that worship and the whole world will hear your voice.
Amen.
God has said it and that settles it.
Amen.
Remember our last prayer here, everything spoken, God has honored it. And today you are entering into a new level of glory.
Amen.
That God that brought me out of prison after 8 years, He has brought you out after 4 years.
Amen.
Same God that you are going
Thank
to
you,
serve.
Jesus.
The same God.
Thank you, Jesus.
It's the same God. It's no different. It's the same God. Jesus is his name. He has done it. Amen. What a day. Father, in the name of Jesus Christ, our Father and our King, the one that doeth and everyone will be shocked. Yes. You have done it. The enemy said that she will die in the prison. He said that you will give her a new name, and that name is called Joy. Joy has come into your house. You are going to be rejoicing with your two beautiful children, and the other one, 3 of them, you will rejoice with them. God is going to make a way where there seems to be no way. You will never lack again. You will not lack again. Your table has turned around, Joy. Your children will rejoice forever. These are gifts from heaven. The enemy came to steal and kill and destroy, but God have come to give us life and in abundance. He has given it to this family, and it shall be permanent in the name of Jesus. Thank you for freedom, Father. 5 years of journey is over. The enemy says she should be death sentenced. They say they want to kill her. Our destiny is changed today. Thank you, Abba Father. Thank you, Jesus. You hear the voice of your servant and you honor us. Daddy, I thank you. I thank you for my wife. I thank you for Pastor Chinwe. I thank you for the mother of Joy. I thank you for father of Joy, stepfather. I thank you for the brother of Joy. Thank you for all that has been by you. All the whole Abounding Grace Foundation that have been sponsoring me. Even this last 300,000 we gave to the lawyer, it was the friends. And the friends that contributed that money, God will bless each and every one. Father, we thank you for what you have done. Thank you, Prison Hub, everyone that has been standing by us. God bless you all. All my partners, my friends, thank you. This is our Joy Ojo. Joy is out now. She is now free. Joy is free now. She is no longer a prisoner. She is no longer a prisoner. She is free. The Bible says, whoever Son of Man sets free is free indeed. This is Joy. Look at the prison. She will never enter that prison again. It is over. That wall will never see you again. You will not see that wall again. The only time you enter this prison is to come with us to come and minister to the prisoners, but not to go and sleep in the name of Jesus. Oh, Daddy, whatever you do, it is perfect. Stand up, and as you stand, you will never go down in shame. Never. It is settled. My daughter, you are blessed. You are blessed.
Thank you, God. God will bless you. More grace.
You have just watched the emotional story of Joy, the emotional experience of her release, her 2 children, how she thanked the person who was looking after her children. It's overwhelming. 4 years behind bars for something you did not do, only to be vindicated because of this organization. Abundance Grace Foundation is a UK-based foundation that helps prisoners across Africa, and they plan as well to travel to Zambia. And therefore, it is my plea that you can support Joy with a new life. Tomorrow, Joy and the team in Nigeria will be explaining to you what she needs in particularly. Joy has no home. Joy has no shoes, clothes, nothing at all. She is starting life afresh. Above all, this organization is looking for a studio that they can use to help Joy record her 42 songs. And that will be her source of wealth, income. And I'm sure many of you would like to support her through her CDs. And I thought this story is touching, but at the same time it's a joyful one because of the ending. But 4 years of Joy in that place, Joy will need professional counseling. She will need to accept her fate. She will need to accept that 4 years has been lost and how she can rebuild her life after 4 years behind bars. This is a story that I thought would inspire you to look at life differently and understand that sometimes we find ourselves in these situations and we don't appreciate the little that we have, yet others are found in very difficult situations. Joy's situation is very trying. She needs to find a place to forgive her family that rose against her for the death of her father, which she had no hand in. And to those of you who would like to follow up this story, obviously I will link down below the YouTube channel where you can find the whole series of Joy. And I will speak to the organization directors if they can also set up like a playlist just for Joy in particular, so that you can just click on that and watch her videos. I will also place the playlist on my YouTube channel as well with their permission. Thank you so much for watching this video. I know you have been inspired. See you on my next video. I love you guys. Life can be so unfair. When you find how people are being treated out there in the world, you'll be amazed. Joy's treatment has made me realize that not everyone is equal. Those with money, especially in Africa, they oppress others. They put them in the position of being powerless. And Joy was powerless. She left her children in the hands of others who accepted to look after the kids wholeheartedly. What a blessing. Not many people can accept that. And for the children, 4 years away from their mom is not a joke. And obviously they were mocked by people. Your mother is in prison because she killed your grandfather. At the end of the day, God is the author of our lives. Joy's story is a powerful testimony which the whole world must know about. The justice system was unfair to this poor and vulnerable woman. The Nigerian system has been exposed to be very unfair. How would they allow a woman who had no hand in the death of her father behind bars and even on death row, when there's so many criminals running around the streets of Nigeria who are free, but because Joy was unfortunate, she was found there. And therefore, we need to revise our constitutions in Africa. Nigeria, you need to revise. And in fact, this shouldn't just be this organization's baby or everybody on my YouTube channel to donate or support Joy. But it should even be the Nigerian government that should help Joy to start her life together, because they owe her compensation for wasting 4 years of her life. It's a waste of time, which the government should repay, because 4 years is a long time for somebody to even get a degree or a college certificate, a job, and a life. And Joy has nothing. So therefore, it is my plea to every Nigerian to support Joy. Even if you give 100 naira each, it will go far. And to every African that would like to support this cause, please do so. And they will tell us a report of what was donated towards the welfare of Joy. Africa. Africa.
Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button, and follow me on all social media platforms. It's simply at Lily